churches, but also I'm also thinking of like Facebook pages.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
And in our media guy, Bob McClintock, is real good at that stuff. That's not really my expertise. But once you say thumbs up, we'll connect you or welcome your suggestions of who else we should be reaching out to.
We've had a couple of other cities that have participated in a program like this. The city of Wadena and the city of Hewitt have also participated in this, and we've had very strong responses from those communities as well, that this is a tool that is needed. I've also read some other literature as well about other past practices and some challenges that some cities have encountered during a disaster like this. One of the questions was, we need to form a 501c3 to raise funds. And it's like, well, no, we have a tool, we have a mechanism here. And like Don said, is that it could be turned on as soon as you guys make the vote tonight if you think it's appropriate. And we control it, it's controlled locally as administered through policies.
Yeah, no commitment from the city at this point. It's just a tool for people to tax
Tax-deductibly donate
money for this.
The city would not be legally eligible to donate to this fund, but this would be a conduit locally for people to contribute into this fund.
Our experience with Wadena is alumni who may not live here anymore, but love their hometown, were extraordinarily generous. And others who've been through a disaster remember how good folks were to them, and they tend to step up too. So I don't think it will just be the residents of Melrose that are thinking of you.
I think it's important to note, and obviously, for the record, we can see it here, there are no administrative fees for the first year.
Correct.
And 100% of the donations do make it back into the community.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling that out. I would assume you will probably start to sunset it after a year. If you don't, we're happy to continue to support it. Realistically, your donations will have long ago peaked at that point. But that's a decision we can revisit. And if we discovered, as in Wadena, if we discovered ongoing needs, some folks were still coming, no pun intended, but out of the woods a year later, we renegotiated and we're stuck with them for an extended period of time.
Any other questions or concerns? So action item. Okay, the action item is to allow the Initiative Foundation to form a fund as outlined in that sheet agreement. So I'm looking for a motion to approve this, please.
I would like to make that motion.
Give me a second.
Sorry.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
So here are 3 copies of the signed grant agreement. If I get your signature tonight, I'll make that text on the way home, not driving, but on the way home.
Got that, Craig?
It's almost there. One other thing, yeah, you go ahead. The other thing too is that we, with this organization, we would like to, we do have a special council meeting set up for next Thursday for another special agenda item related to a development in town here. So we could potentially try to appoint people as soon as next Thursday. So we should try to think of people that would fit this. And I would propose that we follow the same process we usually do for all appointments to boards. So recommend it to the mayor would then nominate, the council would appoint.
Great. Next item on the agenda then is the Melrose Area Relief Fund Seed Grant. We, as early as last Monday when Dan was here, we'd like to extend a $5,000 grant to the city. We framed it as a seed grant because if you tell people every dollar they donate will be matched by us, it tends to help with the fundraising. And again, really, I believe Michael's only waiting for your authorization to hit submit to me so we can approve that grant. I can do it tomorrow as well.
Any questions or concerns? Good, all right. Get a motion to allow for a formal grant request, please.
So, I'll second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank Thank you. I must ask for just one more moment. I do come bearing some good news. Late yesterday, in fact, actually this afternoon, I got formal permission to share that the Egg Star Foundation has awarded $25,000 that they would like to be delivered directly to the businesses that pledge to stay in the community, but to give them ready cash in this hard coming weeks. And we'll be here tomorrow at your meeting at 10:30 here in City Hall. Our goal is to get a count of how many businesses are ready to state that they were directly impacted. And we'll divide that 25,000 equally amongst those businesses. We'll give them a few days to actually fill a one-page application. But again, the goal is to get them some cash immediately so that they can begin planning what their next steps are. The foundation, our foundation, will also offer technical assistance grants if there are financial projections, relocation, feasibility analysis, that kind of thing. We can make grants to the Small Business Development Center at St. Cloud State to provide free, then, technical assistance to the businesses, and those folks will also be here tomorrow with Dan Bullard, our lending officer. And of course, if anybody needs gap lending, we're eager to step in after your local banks to cover loans that can't be collateralized. So that was, I whispered this to Michael before the council meeting, that this is a very good day, very exciting. I have to tell you, I've had two other calls, one from the National Center for Philanthropic Disaster Response, and they want to know how you're doing case management for the families, and if there's technical assistance or financial assistance to do that case management, they're ready to make a grant there. I know right now it's through the Women of Today.
And we also have, Mike, where are you at? We also have comment about the Catholic Charities as well, who've agreed to do some case management, is our understanding?
Yep.
I
was in contact with Catholic Charities today. He believes that they have interest. So.
I had reached out to them, I confess, not out of any disrespect for Women of Today, but one of the hardest things in the weeks after disaster is figuring out how to treat people equitably. One family has one wage earner, 4 kids, another has 2 wage earners, but 5 kids. What's fair? And so Catholic Charities is really good about treating people equitably, fairly with the system, and can also process and do good accounting for where donations go so that everything's clean and above board. And if Women of Today don't need them, that's fine, but the resources and expertise is available, and even some additional financial backing to make sure that's done well. And as I left the office to come here this evening, I got a call from a foundation, another foundation, who said, let us know what the next needs are. We'll make a contribution. So I think after tomorrow, you'll start to get your arms around that. Recovery takes a while, but keep us in the loop as you get clear as to what people's unmet needs are after insurance, or after they figure out that they still have a job or not. Let us know, and we're going to be with you as long as you want us. Good luck. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, just to have a moment of time, just to fill everybody in on kind of the step forward, and I'll be sending out my 3rd update here this evening after the council meeting to the general public and what we've done in the past. But tomorrow there is a business resource roundtable that the city is sponsoring, along with the Chamber of Commerce, in an attempt to provide resources to the businesses. So it was directed to the 11 businesses that were directly impacted by this. We've invited the Initiative Foundation, who was graciously and very proactively assisted us in identifying key individuals who would be good resources for these businesses. And I think one of the most exciting things is to announce is that the city of Madelia will be coming here tomorrow as well. They're sending up 4 business owners who were impacted by a fire that they had back in February. And they're going to talk about their story. It's just going to be a business owner to business owner, friend to friend, Minnesota to Minnesota conversation about what they went through and how they recovered. Because Madelia, I think, is a wonderful success story.
We've actually borrowed some of the legal documents that our sister foundation used there to expedite our ability to help you. And 4 years from now, when you're feeling strong and recovered, I know you'll extend the same assistance to the next community who has misfortune. But you're right, Medelia was an amazing success story.
And they'll be here tomorrow. We also have, very graciously, the Freeport State Bank in town has agreed to pay for lunch for these guys. We anticipate about 20 people attending in total. We're trying to keep it a small knit group. So that's what's scheduled for tomorrow. And other exciting news is that we are going to be hosting a walking tour coming up here next Thursday night at 5:30 p.m., the same night as our special council meeting. And we're inviting our local, regional, state, as well as federal representatives to help walk the site, to help share our story about what's been going on in Melrose. For Melrose 400 block, as well as St. Mary's, opportunity there for recovery. And then we'll show them our future plans for the Fifth Avenue Bridge project that we have going on and some challenges we have with the lake. And just kind of share our story. So we're thinking of maybe a 1-hour walking tour just in our downtown to help share and spread the story. So that will be coming up next Thursday. And we'll be getting the word out on that as well.
Very good. Here's some extra copies of the AgStar press release. If you know anybody who works for AgStar, be sure and thank them.
Yeah.
I'll just leave them on this chair.
I sat on a board with
John Munson.
John Munson for
Yeah.
about 5 years.
Well, and he was the first guy to help with Medelia. I'm sure that's part of what he wanted to do the moment this news broke.
Yeah, John's good.
Yep. Very good.
Do you need- oh.
I'll take 2, you keep 1. Very good. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
We're on old business. Resolution 2016-37, resolution adopting proposed tax levy, approving the 2016 tax levy effective of 2017, setting hearings.
Well, we met earlier this evening to discuss the proposed preliminary 2017 budget and levy. We have to certify a preliminary levy to Stearns County by September 30th, and then we submit our final levy in December. So we are proposing a preliminary tax levy of $950,000 for the general levy and a total debt levy of $445,000. So that would bring the total proposed tax levy to $1,395,000. And that would bring an estimated tax capacity rate of 70.72%. And that's a slight decrease from 2016, which was 71.2%. So with this, we also have to provide the county information on when our truth and taxation hearing will be, which we have planned for December 15th at 6 p.m. at City Hall. So we're just looking for authorization on approving and submitting the preliminary tax levy and approving the 2017 budget.
Can we get a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, on new business, resolution 2016-38, resolution approving the terms of up to $1 million interfund loan in connection with a proposed tax increment finance, financing. So.
Well,
Oh, I am so sorry.
One for the budget, one for the.
Yeah, all right. So can I do that, take action to approve the preliminary 2017 budget, please?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So, yeah, now we can. Okay, looking to set up a tax increment financing district. Is that Mike or Mike?
I can throw one under the bus. No, I won't do that. Okay, the city of Melrose is working with Genio in an attempt to recruit and retain, as well as work with them to try to expand their footprint that they have here in Melrose. And with that, one of the things that we'd like to do is through partnerships with them, is to create a tax increment financing district. But to do that first, this is not the day that we're creating the district. today is the day that we're creating an interfund loan because we will be incurring expenses to facilitate this project. It's estimated upwards to $1 million the city may incur, as well as utilities may incur to establish this district. However, we can get those reimbursed through the tax increment. In the next probably 2 to 3 years from now, we'll be getting these dollars back into the fund. But we need to create the fund. We need to create a loan pool or a line in the sand saying from today forward, if we get expenditures, we can roll that in. So that's what this is doing today. It's not saying that we would create the fund. It's just saying that the TIF district created the fund. So if and when this does happen, we'll be able to reimburse ourselves. So that's what this motion is.
Mike, talking about the line in the sand, anything that has happened or been expensed prior to today?
As long as we have not written a check out for it.
Is there any other discussion? Okay. Provide consideration to adopt resolution number 2016-38. Can I get a motion to approve, please?
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Resolution 2016-38, resolution approving returns of up to $250,000 interfund loan in connection with the proposed tax increment financial district redevelopment district.
This is the exact same conversation that we have with Melrose Multifamily, who's considering constructing a market rate, straight out market rate apartment complex here in Melrose, right next door at the City Hall here on the Riverview Edition, also known as the old craft block, as well as the old State Farm building. So it's estimated that it would cost upwards $250,000 for the administrative costs, engineering costs, and so on to create this fund. And so we just need to draw a line in the sand again to get reimbursed for these funds if this project does actually occur. So having said that, it's recommended by Tracy Ryan, our development consultant, to do the same thing as we just did with Jenny and Turkey project. But we haven't gone through the negotiations yet of development agreements, but we will start to incur expenses here, probably in the next month or so.
On that note, as far as expenses go, engineering costs, is that for, what were those expenses?
Stormwater reviews, we just had a request today. I'm sorry.
Street, engineering fees, access, things like that.
Yeah, like for example, today we found out that FEMA may have a concern about the city being in a floodplain now. So it's like, well, I don't really. So now we need to find.
500 foot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, these are things that we need to verify, and city staff doesn't have the technical capability to do that, or to determine some elevations and shots and stuff. That would be city expenses for some of this stuff. So we want to make sure that we're covered when we start moving forward here, and if we enter into contracts.
What do we spend on development of that reimbursed through the TIF district?
Correct.
So it's not necessarily any engineering, just sort of, no engineering for the project itself, the building, their drawings, water, it's any expenses the city incurs because of the development.
Right. Like for example, we may have to move a storm sewer.
Right.
That would impact it, drop it down. It's 100, like the storm sewer or this retaining wall back here, but this would be shared expenses because there may be some benefit to both parties in that situation. Pay for Tracy Ryan's time because of this. So if we write a check out before that, it's like, oh, sorry.
And if we don't do this, then we can reverse through the TIF program.
Correct, until after we create a TIF district. So. So you're creating a loan pool. It's two resolutions. You're just saying that you intend to do it, and if it works, great. If not, well, we may be out of dollars. So,
Provide consideration to adopt resolution number 2016-39. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask for consideration here to jump to 9B first, because it's around the same concept.
TIF redevelopment option resolution, 2060-40 resolution making certain findings with respect to substandard building.
This is relating to the 400 block. This was as per the recommendation for Tracy Ryan to protect, to help and assist our 400 block people. What this is if same exact scenario, but realistically, they're going to do demolition in the next like 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. And so if they do that demolition and they do come to the city and there is a need for this assistance, well, they would be prepared, they would be covered for it. Otherwise, that expense, it would just be out of their pocket and not eligible for reimbursement through the TIF dollars. So we have confirmation from 2 of the 3 that they are interested in exploring this. The third one doesn't know if there's going to be demolition associated to that yet, so they were reluctant to say yes at the time. However, there's no commitment on their half, there's no commitment on our half. It just draws a line in the sand as of today that any expenses that they write out checks for from today on that is ground down for redevelopment could be potentially reimbursed. It's not to include demolition because they haven't written out any checks yet.
With that, this is maybe not right here, but at your meeting tomorrow, will you explain a little bit of how TIF works to them so that they don't start something that they can't backpedal from?
Right. Yes. Yep. This is very much being very proactive. I don't know if Medelia did it this fast, but we're fortunate that we have staff and that's familiar with this scenario, and so we may have been able to help them out a little bit more than they would have been otherwise. If they even need this, we don't know if they need it.
And also talk to Medelia about abatement, you know, we have
That's another
both,
tool.
yeah, there's different tools, different things that were working, different things that was not working, Medelia, which we were talking about, so I think, you know, at least get the option to look at it.
And I did talk to some of the fire people there, and they all said too, they're ready to start going right away, so it's like, they wanna, I mean, one of them was still like the day after the fire, that Friday, and talked to several of them, and they said, if we could tear it down right now, we would. I said, just hold it off. I told them at that point, I said, just hold off and maybe something we can do, I don't know what it is, but.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 26-40, 2016-40, sorry.
I'll second.
Okay, all fair say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
That's not much. Sorry.
Abdel Meyer LLP audit contract.
We have reached the end of our 3-year contract with Abdel Myers. They've been our auditors for a number of years. The last couple of years, we've been working hard to reduce the audit fees by doing a lot of this stuff in-house, preparing our own financial, trying to get that number on their end as low as possible. I reached out to them for a quote, and they provided a 3-year quote for 2016. It would be $28,800, which is about a 15% increase, and then it would increase 1.7% for each additional year, which is standard. There's always new accounting pronouncements that come out, add to their plate. So just looking to see if you would like us to continue our working relationship with them and approve that plan, or where you'd like us to.
When's the last time we shopped around?
Price check?
Yeah.
We have been with them for a long time. I'm not sure when the last time RFPs were done. I don't believe it was done when they gave their 3-year contract last time.
And I don't know if that's something, you know, it sounds like a lot of money, but maybe it's not this type of audit, it's scale of an audit, but
That's
it's a substantial chunk of money, so does it pay to, in your opinion, to maybe check it out and check other firms out?
we can. See where.
I think it's a good idea.
I know it's a little work to probably prepare RFPs and stuff, but
If I may, what I'll recommend that if we do an RFP, a full-blown RFP, that will actually be detrimental to the timetable. What I would ask from the council is if we just get two separate quotes from 2 other vendors that we know, instead of doing a full-blown RFP process, interviews, the whole thing, and let Tessa and maybe one council member or two council members sit in and just take a look at those, if that's okay. So then we can stay on our time track to, because we're really fortunate with our audit cycle because we're on the front end, and I know that you guys like to see those numbers early, so.
I think that's fair, but I would make the recommendation that anytime we're doing these things with either professional services or anything really, up this dollar value or more, that we're getting multiple quotes. I think that that's not unreasonable.
All right, we'll try to get something before the council at the next meeting, council and commission, so we can stay on schedule.
I respect that, that's good. Okay. On to informational items. Utilities Commission meeting minutes, Bradford retaining wall update, charter communication, Melrose multifamily LLC, schools and conferences. Can I get a motion to adjourn? To adjourn. Someone make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second, please?
One second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, everybody.